She's a very good friend of AmCham here in Hanoi, as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is overall. A huge team from the ministry was in Washington, New York, Boston, San Francisco in this last week. So we are very happy, Madam Hang, that you're here. We know the ministry has been completely swamped with all of the work on that enormously successful trip. And I would say that, as everyone heard, it was the special summit for ASEAN, and so all of the ASEANs were there. But I was talking to some others about some of the other delegations, and they said no delegation was better organized or took better advantage of the opportunity than the Vietnamese delegation. And that's really because of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They do an incredible job working on this bilateral relationship and economic issues. Madam Hang is in charge of the economic department, so we go to her and that department quite often on economic issues, and they work very hard on some of these bilateral issues as well as regional issues. So, Madam Hang, thank you so much for coming. And we took the podium away, so are you okay to sit? So come on up. Thank you.
Mr. Stephen Ockham, Chairman AmChams of the Asia Pacific, Mr. John Rockhall, National Chamber of Commerce of Vietnam, Ms. Virginia Foot, Vice Chairman of AmCham Hanoi, and colleagues and friends and distinguished participants and members of the Asia Pacific business community. It is truly a pleasure for me to be here at this very important event, and I'm so happy to see so many good friends of Vietnam and good friends of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam. I'd like to thank AmCham Hanoi for giving me the chance to speak at this important event. We are very excited that this year's summit is held in Vietnam, and so many of AmCham's representatives in the region are here. This is truly reflective of the new normal that we have worked hard for, and with the help from friends and partners such as yourself here, of course. Let me take these opportunities to express our gratitude for the generous support that we received from the U.S. government and the American business community during our difficult times of combating COVID-19. They've been a big help for us, and thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, profound changes are taking place in the regional and global landscape. Public health emergencies, digitalizations, climate change, armed conflict are impacting our societies and businesses in unprecedented way. And no single country, no company can overcome these challenges on their own. While the Asia-Pacific region remains strong, dynamic, and instrumental to global growth, the need to work harder, smarter, and more closely together to go far and sustainably has become more evident. In this regard, I look forward to a more B2G engagement with AmCham's support to overcome difficulties and take advantage of new opportunities. I understand that there's been much discussion to date about green development, energy security, and new mechanisms for our joint growth and prosperity. AmCham's continued engagement with both public and private sectors in next-generation issues will surely create new drivers for growth in the region in the new era. You know that during the recent US-ASEAN Special Summit, we saw that Vietnam continues to be the largest trading partners of the US in ASEAN. We explored new areas for cooperation, especially in sectors such as energy transition, digital economy, healthcare, and the resilience of supply chains. Enjoyed intensive discussions with President Biden on cooperation in regional and global issues, and reached a common understanding of our bilateral agenda looking forward. The 32 MOUs signed between Vietnam and the American partners during this trip speak volumes of the commitment and the readiness of the Vietnamese government to engage and to work with American partners. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 35 years of growth and development, Vietnam today has a strong and a vibrant economy. Our annual GDP growth pre-COVID-19 was 6%. In 2022, growth prospects are expected to rebound to 5 to 6%. And you can see for yourself in the streets, business and lives are come back to normal. Building on such momentum, our government has set a clear and ambitious goals. I'm sure that you have heard a lot about these goals of Vietnam, but anyway, I still want to reiterate these goals, ambitious goal of Vietnam to you. To reaching the upper income, middle income status in 2033 and high income status by 2045, and achieving net zero carbon emission by 2050. We've put in place not only tax incentives, but also policies to improve the business environment, national competitiveness, and the national credit ratings. And Vietnam remains strong committed in advancing economic integration in the region through high standard agreements, and we will continue to engage actively in the existing and emerging multilateral mechanisms and trade agreements. We are also placing greater emphasis on sustainability. You know that during the visit of our Prime Minister to the US, our Prime Minister have delivered a speech at the Harvard University about the philosophy and also the directions for the development of Vietnam in the time to come. And he mentioned a lot about the building a resilient economy while pursuing intensive economic integration. So we will continue to place greater emphasis on sustainability, sustainable development, the SDGs and net zero emissions. People and business centers are highly relevant to the future development of Vietnam. Ladies and gentlemen, next year we will celebrate 10 years of comprehensive partnership. Our engagement have grown much more diverse. Our discussions are much more in-depth, and Vietnam welcomes continued U.S. constructive engagement and cooperation initiatives with the Indo-Pacific region that contribute to our shared peace, stability, prosperity, cooperation, and development in the region, as well as support for ASEAN centrality. We would like to thank you so much for your continued support and commitment to further improving the ASEAN centrality in the regional and global architecture. This reality and high-level commitments made will serve as a basis for further cooperation with AmCham and stakeholders in areas of mutual interest and benefits, particularly those of high interest such as in digital and green economy, climate resilient growth, innovation, technology transfer, renewable energy, and financial sectors, and many others. I look forward to working closely with you and with all partners here to hear your concerns, to hear your recommendations, and more importantly, to hear your ideas on how best to further our engagements in an increasingly substantive and effective manner. You know that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we set our very important task, which is to serve the development of our country and to help Vietnam to realize all the ambitious development goals. So economic diplomacy has been becoming more important for Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's why we have very close relations, close cooperation with Joc Hoi, Geneva Food here in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh City and in all cities of Vietnam to try to promote the relations between Vietnam and US in all areas, especially in trade and investment and many other areas. On this note, and also a final note, I would like to thank AmCham Hanoi and the AmCham in Vietnam and the AmChams in all cities and provinces of Vietnam for your wonderful work in facilitating the operation of the business of the American businesses in Vietnam, and for your continued role in the constructive dialogue between the business community and the Vietnamese government. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam do look forward to our continued cooperation and support, especially in a very difficult and fast-changing environment as we are witnessing now. So once again, thank you so much for the chance to speak here today, for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today. And I understand that you are coming from many Asia-Pacific countries this time, and you will have a visit to Hue tomorrow, right? Tomorrow or today, I'm not sure. Oh, tonight you go, all right. I'm sure that Hue will be a very interesting venue for you to visit, and I wish you all the best, good health, further success, and all happiness, and enjoy your time here in Hanoi, and enjoy your time in Vietnam, and looking forward to your continued support with Vietnam and coming back to Vietnam at any time. So thank you so much for your time to be with today and for giving me a chance today. Thank you.
Assistant Minister Hong, thank you so much for joining us today. We know, as Jenny said earlier, we know how people have been running around and flying around for this visit. We very much appreciate your time. And we also appreciate the help of you and your colleagues at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for helping facilitate getting people in. And we're very happy that the government of Vietnam is so flexible with their travel policies. People are able to come here easily. No more testing, nothing to worry about getting trapped here, and that's why we got such a great group of people to come. And some of your colleagues in the America Department and others really helped us put this conference together. So thank you, and thank you again for your time. Thank you. Glenn, if I can invite you and your colleagues,